accept what they've done in the history, but tomorrow anything can happen. We can't focus too much on it.
Hi, bukayo. We spoke to William recently. Naturally, the fans are very nervous about his contract situation. I think those same fans are very nervous about your contract situation. Could you give or say anything to help ease those nerves of the fans?
Yeah, well, for me, I want to win, and I want to win wearing this badge. So I think it's pretty clear. The fans know how much I love them, and when you saw when I came on Tuesday, I think they love me back. So it's a good relationship, and yeah, I'm really happy to be here, and I'm just focused on winning here.
You seem pretty intent there in kind of where your head's at, and I was going to ask you whether that noise you heard on the other night could have changed anything, but it seems that that didn't change anything. It just reaffirmed how you feel about it.
Yeah, no, I just reassured everything, and yeah, like I said, it was special. You had to be in a stadium to really understand, and feel the noise and energy that they brought that night for me. So I'm really grateful, and yeah, like I said, I just wanna win here, and that's my focus now.
Hi, bukayo. You've had some amazing moments that Arsenal played in finals for England, but is this game against Madrid and knockout stages of Champions League something you dreamed of as a kid and a young player coming through?
Yeah, most definitely. It's a very big night, and the stakes are high against one of the best teams in the competition. So I think it's a game that I definitely want to be involved in.
And I know you've spoken about coming back, but how do you feel sharpness-wise? Do you feel as you were before you came on, or still need some more minutes to get back up to where you were before you had your injury?
No, I feel good. Obviously, you can't define nature. You need to obviously get on the pitch, get your minutes up. But I'm feeling good, and the last 2 games I felt like I've gone from strength to strength.
Hi, bukayo. Obviously, when you approach this match, we know the occasion. We know how much your career has meant for you and your family, and even in your faith when you've let go. When it comes to the pressure and remaining calm, we've seen you perform and carry this Arsenal team when they need it the most. How do you approach that mentally before a match, but maybe this calendar you haven't played before?
It's a good question. I think for me, I'm always focused on doing what I'm in the team to do, and that's for me is making a difference in the final third. And I genuinely believe that if I do that, the team is so good, and the defenders are so good that we can score more goals than them basically. So my approach to each game is pretty similar. Obviously, some games the stakes are higher, like this one. But yeah, the approach is the same.
James?
bukayo, I know you've been in touch with Thierry, and he's been offering you words of advice throughout this season before. What has been the sort of advice and inspiration he's offered to you going into a game like this?
I think for me, the biggest thing I take when I speak to Thierry is the confidence that he has, in himself. Obviously, he gives me a few details on certain situations.
I mean, tomorrow you'll lose, obviously, but how important is it to actually win tomorrow and win well so you're set up for the second half?
Very important, but it will be just the first legs, as you mentioned. So obviously the intention of the team is very clear. We want to achieve tomorrow, and we're going to go for it.
August 2021, Martin Odegaard committed to a long-term contract with Arsenal after a loan spell with Real Madrid. How important has he been to shaping Mikel Arteta's mentality and leading your team through this period?
Well, I think it's very important for the football club because we recruited a player that fits every quality to deliver performances and the demands that we want, and then the person that is an exceptional representative of the values of this football club, our history, and obviously pivotal from where we were to where we are, the role that he's played, and how much he has contributed to be playing where we are at the moment.
You grew up through La Masia, the Basque region where you come from. Is this the key test for you? Is this one of the biggest matches of your coaching career, the mantle of
Well, it is one of the most special things. I mean, it's a competition that we're waiting for many, many years. The fact that we've only been twice at this stage in 15 years with the size of Arsenal Football Club tells you the difficulty of that. And we're going to, as as I said, create our own story and go even further. And tomorrow is a beautiful opportunity to all of us.
Hi Miguel. Wanted to ask you about Jurriën Timber. Is he fit enough to start? And you've played him in so many different positions this season. What does it say about him as a player, and how great is it for you that he is so multifunctional?
Incredible. I mean, probably nobody realized the play that we signed till he stepped through that door and started to show every quality that he has on the human side again, because he's a leader. He had a really tough start, having a really difficult injury, almost a year out, and then to do what he's been doing this season is just remarkable. As you mentioned, different position with different demands, always so consistent, and hopefully tomorrow he will be in the best condition to play the game. Hi.
Doesn't that tackle with Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Bellingham, pretty much a special one or one of the best defenses in Europe that you have is ready already for this battle?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with the individual quality that they have, especially when you put them in certain situations, you know the danger that you are facing. But that's the stages. I mean, it doesn't get much bigger than that. That's why consistently they've been doing what they've been doing in this competition, is that they can create those moments. And when it comes to the biggest stage, individual performance, play can decide the games, are critical for your success, and obviously something that we have to prevent for sure.
Hi Miguel, you
Hi.
mentioned how there maybe hasn't been a game like this for 20 years for Arsenal. Well, 20 years ago, Arsenal played Real Madrid in the Champions League 2006. There were some similar circumstances, a lot of injuries for Arsenal at that time, a lot of unusual defence in some respects. Does that game serve as a reference for you at all, and can it be an inspiration for your players tomorrow night?
Well, it's an inspiration for sure, because as well that generation, what they achieved is what we want to achieve, certainly. Very different. 20 years, a long time in football, very different context. But the history is there. Unfortunately, it's too far to be very relative to the situation that we are in. But there are things to take from there and be inspired for sure.
For yourself, as a Spaniard, does this fixture have like a special significance for you? Your history, of course, with Barcelona as well. I mean, it must mean a lot to you.
It does mean, obviously, and it's a club that has set new standards in world football. That's why they've done it more than anybody else. So that's an inspiration for any manager, any club. This is where we want to be. This is where we want to belong. And these opportunities have to be taken in order to go in that direction.
James, ESPN.
Hi, Miguel.
Hi.
Obviously, last season was the first time in